All right. Jose, we are live. Are you ready to kick this thing off, brother?
Ooh, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the AdminisTraders Podcast, featuring your host, Mr. Kendrick Thomas, and my co-host, Mr. Jose Ortiz. This information is used for educational purposes only.
Educational purposes only. What it do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the AdminisTraders Podcast. And I am with my host, Senor Jose Ortiz. What it do, co-host? How you feeling, brother? Hold on, wait a minute, bro. How you feeling today, brother?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. You know, got some errands done today with some family members. You know, so it was good. You know, I'm ready to get back to work this week and celebrate that Easter coming up.
Thank God for sweet baby Jesus, man. Look, man, I am not gonna complain. The week is here, man, and I'm not gonna lie to you. We came off the spring break, came back to a hard. But I told somebody today, man, in my little coaching session, man, I feel like them kids was at home just doing push-ups, waiting on us to get back, bro. But they came back so strong, man. And so now, back to it. We working hard. One day down, and we'll head out to this Easter. Now, when we get back, though, that's that 7th inning stretch, baby. But it's time, man. But, you know, like I say, man, I feel real blessed. They say you never work a day in your life if you're doing something you love, bro. So I would honestly do this for free, man. So we are here, bro. But the good thing is, though, we don't have to do it for free because we got the markets. So, man, just checking in, man, over the last week, man. You been doing any trade, any moves?
Well, you know, I've been sitting back trying to get this figure out which direction this market was going to turn. You know, we're cutting back on the greed, you know, a little bit, but I've been dipping and dapping with some SPY and trying to just keep playing that AMD. I loaded up some more AMD $300 calls for June 21st. So if y'all are out there listening, you know, they're under 100 right now. So I bought some more last week, and then I bought some today. And so hopefully AMD did have a little bit of a setback earlier today when they were talking about China, and you know the government's going to not be using those chips, but it recovered and it had an okay day. So you know it was down for a little bit. So AMD is still probably my main play that I got right now. I know people love with Nvidia, but man, I tell you that's you know.
Look, man, I feel like that Nvidia gonna get our feelings hurt before it's over with, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like it because it's so much FOMO around it, where everybody is trying to get in, and so man, I just really be trying to keep it kosher, man, and, because I know at some point what goes up must come down. So I had a little bit, so I took the profits last week, and I still kept my one. I got one runner, man. One runner that I bought in about 7 something. And so yeah, man, I'm just letting that thing go. We'll see what happens. Other than that, brother, I think it's just time to get to the money, man. So what I'll do, we're gonna get into a little bit of this news because if I don't know, did we talk about Chipotle last time?
We talked about split was coming up, but that was about what we talked about, and we highlighted the price. That it was so high.
Man, we're gonna dig a little deeper into that split because I need people to know. But maybe they can't do 3,000.
Yep.
But you need to know what's coming ahead of your time. So let's jump into this news, baby. Share the screen with the news. I didn't know by now, Jose. You just take the thing out. All right, so everybody in the news tonight. What we talked about a little bit last week was about the massive stock split for Chipotle. And I know a lot of people said they didn't understand when I said Chipotle, but you better get used to it because that's what we call it around here. Chipotle. All right, so last week the board approved a proposal for a 50-1 stock split. 50-1 stock split. And so what this means, people, that if you have one share of Chipotle, then you will get after June, or what is it, June 18th, I want to say, you will get an additional 49 shares to go with that one share. At the present time, Chipotle stock is about 2,900. So that means we're looking at about $50 to $60 per share. Hopefully it'll be more than that by the time it's split.
Yeah.
But we're looking at about $50 to $60 per share. Now, I will let you know that that does not take anything away from the price. The price is still the same. It's just divided by 50. And so what are some of the reasons that people will do a stock split like that? One, they want to make it more accessible to common folks, retail traders like us, because who is going to pay $3,000 per share, correct? Another reason is man, what another reason, man? Because what they trying to do? Add to the index. So, like, let's say, for instance, if they want to get into the Dow, the index tends to shy away from adding high price stocks because movement in that price could outsize the impact on the index. So when you think about that, once that stock gets into the Dow, it becomes a big portion because it's simply such a big stock. And so then now, let's say, for instance, like we trade in our SPY, which is the S&P, that makes it for real bigger swings, which could be still detrimental for the index itself. I mean, is that sound about right, Jose?
Yeah, because if you think about if in the Dow Jones, you have 30 stocks. And so if Chipotle became one of them with a $3,000 price target, and let's say it did a 10% move to the downside one day, that's a $300 downer on a given day. And so that 10% now becomes 10% of the Dow. And so if that Chipotle took a hit, then the Dow would take a hit because it would be weighted at a difference, because like I said, there's 20 or 30 stocks in that Dow Jones.
Yeah.
And so that's why they want to reduce it. Because even right now, if you look at the screen where it talks about United Health Group and Microsoft, those are some pretty big heavy hitters too when it comes to their price already. So wouldn't be surprised to see something happening with them in the more recent coming in the near future.
Man, that would be crazy. But yeah, so that and in this paragraph, it talks really about that price weighted index. So like I said, the highest stocks in the Dow right now are 490 and 428. So there is no way that Chipotle at 2,800 will be able to get in. Once the price drops, then they will get in. And so this is why I keep telling you all the importance of this. It showed here, e-commerce giant Amazon joined the Dow earlier, not this year, but last year maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe it was this year. Because this was only in March of this year. So it says the Dow earlier this year. Oh, you did, because I remember buying some after going for 20-for-1 stock split in June 22. So before the stock split in June 22, Amazon shares were 2,000. After the split, they ended the first day at 124. As of Friday's close, Amazon shares were worth 178. So when you think about what's going to happen to this Chipotle, right? If the based on Friday's closing price, it was $2,882.04. So Chipotle would trade an estimated $57.64 after the share breakdown. Look, people, I'm just trying to tell you. Remember what we say. This is not trading advice. This is for entertainment only. But be ready. I know that $3,000 per share is not realistic, right? That's why they doing it. But be ready, because when it drops, and Chipotle is only $57 to $60. Man, y'all better grab some. I'm just trying to tell you what God loves. That's the truth. Make sure that you get locked into the game. I was looking. So then, now the thing is, were they doing this split for, where is it at? To kind of get to these people. Dun, dun, dun. Because Kava stock has been going up, but they're saying that Kava is Mediterranean, Chipotle. Hold on, wait a minute though. So so what they're saying is kind of Kava stock has been going to, I want to say it's about $50, almost $60. So once this stock split happens, it'll be what and what. And so I'm wondering if Chipotle was kind of getting worried, since Kava was much more accessible, were they about to take up a lot of that market share? Man, what you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think that you're spot on with that, because, I mean, the IPO for Kava came out last year in the summertime, and, believe it or not, we've actually tried it. And so it's not bad. But with it being relatively new, you still got, because not only is it a new IPO, which means, initial product or price offering for the rookies out there, that means that the stock, that company stock just went live on the stock market in a way that people were able to pre-buy it and all that. If you are a licensed trader and all that, we aren't, so we have to wait for it to hit. So about a year later, after the IPO, was when it was actually live on the stock market, and this was last year. But not only that, though, the company itself is relatively new. So now you've got a stock, they did something kind of unprecedented by actually having the IPO come out, and they weren't fully furnished with a lot of their buildings yet, as far as them having, a product that people were buying already. Now, they were in the works, but it kind of like almost coincided, because the one out here in this neighborhood actually just opened a month or so ago. And so I know they started popping up last year. IPO goes out, they go live last year. So a lot of it happened together. So I do anticipate some growing pains, but it's hot. And when anything is hot, that's what happens. So yeah, I think they did feel the heat from them. But I think more so than that, I really believe it's about what you said earlier, the retail investor. Because since COVID, the retail investor has, gained momentum in what we do and how we trade. And so $3,000 versus $50 for someone to be able to get in, you have to weigh that. I think a lot of companies are doing that now.
Man, I will tell y'all one of them that I missed that came out recently, Reddit. So like I know it dropped, but I didn't pay any attention to it. I did apply to get in on the IPO, but it didn't work out in Robinhood because that thing dropped and I didn't get no parts of it. But I do believe that will be something to watch. So I'm definitely gonna check for that Reddit, kind of do a little research over the break, kind of see what we got going on here, man. Because what if everybody get together and push Reddit stock like they did GameStop? I mean, I'm just saying. Anything could happen, bro. Another thing that's been on the radar is the marijuana stocks. So we looked at so it was crazy. I seen Kamala and Fat Joe on the news having a roundtable discussion, right? They said, according to the United States law, marijuana is more, you get more time for marijuana than fentanyl at this present time. And so with so many people legalizing, I think Russia just legalized it. So with so many people doing this, how is that happening? And so then Kamala said, of course, it's an election year, so of course she's going to say that. Oh, let's look at reform. Let's see what's going to happen. And since then, marijuana stocks have been through the roof to the moon, baby. Have you had a chance to check out any of those?
I have not because like I said, I haven't been able to get to that sector yet. So I'm still waiting to get there. But yeah, man, keep going. I think you did some selling, some buying.
Yeah, it was terrible, bro. Hey, look, man. Dog stories, y'all. Just don't worry about it, man. It was rough today, bro. Oh my God, man. Let's keep this thing rolling, bro. I'm about to go cry. All right. So what we'll do, y'all, that was kind of getting into the news. If you have not, make sure you go and check out the Chipotle stock. Like I said, they're about to get ready for a 50-1 split. Right now, Chipotle is at $3,000 practically. So once it drop, it'll be between $55, $60, somewhere in there. Do not miss the opportunity to go in and invest, because probably in a year from now, Chipotle is going to be at least back to 100, right? And so then, bro, I'm holding on to my 50, man. I'm telling you, I'm holding on for dear life, bro. Set it and forget it on these 50 shares of Chipotle. All right, man. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into our heat check. We're going to switch it up, go back normal today. Get ready for the heat check, and we'll be right back. All right, let's do this heat check, baby. All right, so hey, look, I'm just saying, man. Look, I got the good stuff. All right, y'all, check out the heat map. So I went inside of TradingView. We talk a lot about this platform and platform probing. We'll look at it a little bit more today, but this is just another tool that you can use all inside of one place. Like I say, I do pay a monthly fee for my TradingView, but when I tell you it is worth it, people, it is worth it. So just kind of put this tool on. Now, Jose, analyze, disaggregate. What are we talking about here, man?
Well, one of the biggest things that I noticed, and looking at this, man, our tech is tearing it up out there. Yeah. Then what I saw, if you look right in the middle, right by that Amazon, we've been talking about this oil for a while. And today, the price of oil eclipsed $81 a barrel. And I say that to say, look at this energy sector on the S&P. We had some green today. Now, that had, it's been on the down. It's been destined for it to be coming up. But when you look at, the green, it's not bright green, but it's green in most areas of the heat map. That we are noticing that could be coming to life here for a little bit. Now, we don't want it to get too high because then that's going.
Because that means that gas going. I gotta find a good balance in between.
Yeah. So 2 things that stood out to me today: Microsoft, Apple, AMD, all in the red. AMD had some news today. Like I said earlier, about some chips in China that they weren't going to be being used, but then it drug down all of those underneath it in those technical services. If you look at Oracle. If you look at Adobe's was up today, but IBM, Intuit, all those, Intel was down. I will say that Oracle has been on the,
there we go.
Yeah, Oracle has been on the up because they had a tremendous earnings report, and so they took off, and so they were destined to have a little pullback. But I want your eyes to shift to the right of this map, big letters TSLA.
Woo!
Talked about it last
Hold
week.
on, baby.
Where's that sound?
Tesla. Woo!
And in the grand scheme of things, when we think about a 1% interest, 1% increase, sometimes we don't think that bodes well or what it does. But what it actually signaled today and a little bit of on Friday was that Tesla's been beat up, and they too had some news, and they too have been getting down in their luck, and so if we can see, we got a little bit of a up where maybe we caught that hammer candlestick from a downtrend, but. So it's good to see it green today, even though it wasn't that green today, because that could be signaling that we are trying to get out of the hole, because I don't think it was red too much last week. I don't think it was green too much last week. So,
I would so I would tell you, for me, it was these people here, man.
Yes.
I was waiting on this 120. I got in at 95. Kind of rolled this thing on up, sold a little bit, came back in, and so I've been riding it now since 112. And so look, man, just looking to see good things for Disney, man. I remember when this was $220, almost $300.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So that just lets you know, man, this market goes in cycles. If you have not yet, there will be a time, because right now, this is the time for Tesla. You see all this up in here, especially right here. This is where I bought that call at, man, that 210 call, right there. So look, people, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not just talking about this Tesla. I'm literally all in on this Tesla. Well, I guess not literally. But I'm pretty deep into this Tesla. So right now I'm up to 75 shares. And I got 2 more thousand inside of a call that I got, a leap call for next year. And so but that just tells you the difference. And I will say that to say the difference between the options and the shares. So inside of these shares, when Tesla moves $1, that's like $75, right? Because I got 75 shares. But inside of this option, when Tesla moves, for each dollar is $50, right? So every time $1 goes, I'll make $51, and I only have one contract. And so I got that contract for a while. So say, man. Oh, if this thing get back to 300, we going Sizzler, baby. All right. So just to let y'all know, but that's the heat map. Look, making sure that you're able to go in, use the tools that you have. We've been talking about Trading View for weeks, and just kind of look at this map, right? And that's kind of telling you, okay, well, if I'm looking to put some money somewhere, I'm looking at oil. Oil is getting up there, right? We got a few greens today. When you think about that, let's go over where we got another green sector. Still, our chips still tripping a little, but they see we still got a little work going, right? Yeah, man, it's just so many of them. But healthcare is still kind of doing this thing. So a lot of healthcare was not, as far as our big ones, not down too much. J&J not down, Merck up, Abbott up. So Pfizer still the same. So just looking, use this heat map to kind of look and see where you want to go. Financials kind of getting rough, except PayPal. But PayPal been holding like a champ, man. Woo! All right. All right, y'all. So that was a look inside of our heat map. Man, we running this thing today. We already 30 minutes, man. Look. Yeah. But we needed that one. That was a good conversation. Now, let's go back over and now we'll check our fear and greed. So if you notice, today, fear and greed is very low, right? I think they said, so what is today for the fear and greed? Well, we got about 70. Well, man, I don't even know what you call 68. It. What's the peak in between? Yeah, somewhere up in there. Previous close was 71. So I guess Friday, 1 week ago, it was 69. So 73. 1 year ago, it was 37. This is when we should have been buying right here. This is when we buy around this time. When everybody fearful, you be greedy. Now, everybody greedy, you kind of got to start watching this thing and seeing how it's going to play, right? So that's pretty much, once again, information about that market that kind of always kind of keep you ahead of the game thinking what happens. And so these are the tools. You got your stock heat map. Then you got your fear and greed index. And so this is kind of telling you what's going on out here. So people are still spending their money. It's not extreme greed. When we get over here, this is extreme sale. Well, I say extreme buy, hold, sell. Man, you better get rid of that shit. I mean, that's pretty much the way it looked, right? So that's just information for you. Anything on the fear and greed index, Jose?
No, I just got. I watch it to see when we'll go down to that fear to load up. Now I'm hoping, like I've been saying, hopefully, we can get to April, May, still right here, so I can unload some of those June calls that I have. But then after that, man, I expect it to at least get to neutral here, pretty, by June, July, and then depending on what earnings from the big names coming up in May.
Yeah,
we could go back to that fear a little bit. But I was watching or heard on CNBC that they were talking about these rates and how they wanted to do 3 cuts.
Yeah,
so they're holding fast on that 3. So
yeah, a lot of people don't see it. I'll tell you, the jury is still out, but when they do, I'm still holding my TMF, baby, to the moon. All right. All right, y'all. So what we'll do, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we will get a little bit more into our candlestick patterns from last week. I'm pretty sure, Jose, because, hey, at the end of the day, we teachers, so we're going to review our previous content and then what they say, tell you how it fits into the broader coursework. All right. So let's take a quick break, y'all, and we will be right back. Welcome back to another episode of AdminisTraders Podcast. I am KT and
Joe, baby.
Hey, look, man, I think that was still we not coming out rusty or nothing, bro. All right, we are back, y'all, and so far we've talked a little bit about our heat map, Chipotle stock split. Remember, they're doing a 50 to 1. So if you own 1 share, you will get 49 additional shares to go with that in the month of June. So be watching out for that. Just things to kind of keep on your radar. Talked about some of our sectors today. Technology is kind of taking a pounding. So remember, the world is moving towards that. Everything has to cool off. So that's more information. Kind of start watching your Apples, right? Start watching your Teslas. Start watching a lot of those chip stocks, because what goes up must come down. But now we're about to get into some of these candlesticks with that boy Ortiz. Oh, hey, you ready to do this, brother?
Yeah.
Hey. Woo! Air guitars on this. Here we go. So let me go in and I'll take off the information off of the screen. Jose, where you want us to go, man?
Man, let's go. All right, so we're going to do a quick, like KT said, let's do a quick review of the candlesticks and what all that meant from the past. So basically, like we've been saying, it's just a chart, price chart used for technical analysis. You got your high, low, your open, your close. That's what represents the candlestick. Mm-hmm. Here's your body, and then you got your wicks and shadows. And here is a picture for you to recall. It could be bullish or bearish. They're going to look the same, except if you look at the bullish candle, you got the close, or you got the open first at the bottom, and it goes up, fills up, and then we have the close. On the bearish, it is the opposite, where in that time frame that you selected, 1 minute, 1 hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is, when that price hits and it drops and it closes, you have a bearish red candle.
Ooh.
And so remember when we talked about what those wicks and shadows were, the lines extending from the top and the bottom are called the wicks, and they represent the highest and lowest points. The top wick extends from the top of the body to the highest price, and the bottom one extends from the bottom to the lowest price. Remember, they could be red or green depending on when that open and close hits during that time frame that you've indicated on your chart. All right. And so the first one that we talked about was a hammer candlestick. This is a bullish candle. It does signify a reversal from a downtrend. So if you see that very, short, a small body with a long stick. Then our next one that we learned about was our morning star, and it is a bullish reversal. It consists of 3 candlesticks, 1 red, and then we have the 2 green that start to form after a downtrend. Okay, so today we're keeping it real simple because this is easy terminology to learn when it comes to this particular candle. So a bullish engulfing candle is a bullish reversal signal.
Oh, sorry about that.
And so when we think about what it is, in plain terms, it's a bullish candle that engulfs the preceding bearish candle. So you can see that the green one is bigger than the red one, so technically it would engulf it from top to bottom. That's why we call it the bullish engulfing. Red small, green large, next to each other on the chart. Here we go.
Yeah, most definitely. Remember what he say. And it's bullish because it's green.
So the first candle is a bearish candle, and it usually is a continuation of the downtrend. Remember, a downtrend is when the stock market has been going down. You can also look at your RSI, relative strength index, to see that it's approaching 30 or below to know that it's in a downtrend. You can look at your MACD as well to see if your removing daily averages are crossing. Have they crossed? Are they going to cross? But when you look at that candle, it's a bearish candle, part of a downtrend. The second candle now becomes a larger green candle that opens lower than the close. So you see where it closed at the top. So now that candle opens lower than that during that time frame, and it closes higher than the close of the bearish candle. And like I said before, it's called bullish engulfing because it engulfs or swallows up the smaller candle.
Swallowed.
That's right.
All right.
Eat them up. And so the pattern is stronger if the second candle, if the shadows also engulf the first one. So if the shadows extend out big enough to where it, you got everything's covered, then it indicates that candle, that pattern is stronger. Now remember, the larger the candle, the green one, in relationship to the red one or the bearish one, then the stronger the signal. So if it's twice as big, we're looking at it. It could be a pretty good swing here that's about to happen. So when we take a look at it, breaking it down one more time, you have your bearish candle was first, and then your bullish candle engulfs the body of the previous candle in relationship to their size with each other. Okay, just keep that in mind. If you see that it engulfs it because it's bigger, than the previous candle, then we could start to see a reversal of a downtrend. So if you can see that stock was kind of going down, you see all the red in there. You had some tops where it hit green, but then you have that candle that go right at the end. You see that it was going down, and then at that end you got your red candle, your bearish candle, and then your engulfing bullish candle that's bigger than that bearish candle. So that's one way to see it. Another view here is we have on this next picture, you actually see the downtrend. So the stock has been going down, and now we have a big green candle followed by another green candle. So now once it hits that second green candle, you got a confirmation that it's going to go up. Now, will it dip? Of course it'll dip, but you've had your downtrend. You've got the bullish engulfing candle that engulfed the bearish red candle. So now we're looking at it to make a move to the up. Okay.
Look, I just want to say, when you see this on that chart,
You better buy.
Go. Hey, just go. All right.
All right. And so once again, we got the candle. What does it see? Okay, so now let's look at what I talked about before. Downtrend. What makes it a downtrend? The redness. If you look on the left side of this chart, you see a downtrend that happened. Yes, I know. If you looked at all the red candles on the left, the far left, and then you see a couple of green candles in there, you're thinking, oh, well, it's not really a downtrend because isn't green good? No, it's a downtrend because the majority of the candles are red. Okay? Now, go to the bottom of the chart. What do you see? My famous words, oversold, which means too many people have sold it. It's in relative form with the red candles. You've got the downtrend. You got the RSI that's oversold. Bam, you got a red candle followed by an engulfing green candle. What are we going to do? Well, if you noticed, there's a little bit of some red right there, but then we're followed by another green candle, and then we just take off. Remember what we said, that it doesn't have to happen right away, but as soon as you see that engulfing candle, be prepared for it to make a swing to the upside. And as you can see, it did make a swing to the upside. And then we have this next picture has it again to where we're coming off a downtrend. Okay, we have the downtrend. And now we're looking at an engulfing candle. But notice where it said to make an entry. There's a red candle there. Why would we make the entry at a red candle? Well, because you saw the bullish engulfing pattern. There was a preceding downtrend, but that candle was bigger than the previous candle. So we're going to look for an upside confirmation. And when that candle closed at the top and then followed by the green candle, you could see that our confirmation was there because now we have another candle that went up. You don't want to miss it though. You don't have to buy it right when it turns green and it fills. See how the entry point was still on the red candle. But the identifying pattern was the bullish engulfing where you have the red, which was part of a downtrend, and then the green one, which could signify the end of that downtrend. So now, bam.
And for me, like I see this, but then once I see this red candle close all the way above this bullish engulfing candle, that lets me know that buyers are here. Well, it may be red now because it's always a fight on our bulls and our bears, but the simple fact that this candle cleared this green candle, that tells me I'm still in a good place. And so then, once again, you just wait and see what happens. And if you play right here, you're going to miss all this. And then this your bear flag, bull flag. Then you're going to miss all up, man. All right, y'all. Sorry, man. I digress. Come on, Jose.
All right. And so one of the things that you can see on here too, you see your entry, you see the stop. Oh, KT's favorite words and stops. And then
use a stop loss.
And then we got that thing going up to the top where we can make some money if you're in the business of day trading it or swing trading it. You could always hold, and make your money that way as well. So candlesticks provide visual insights to price action, including trends, reversals, and market sentiment. And traders often look for additional confirmation signals. Remember, you don't use it all by itself. We've been preaching this. You got your candlesticks, you got your MACD, you got your VWAP, you got your RSI, you got all of those different things. And so one of the things that we've been talking about are actual candlesticks, and the actual candlestick itself. That's the end of it, KT. And so what you can see is, you can get out if you want.
Okay.
So what we want you to understand is that you've got your candlestick patterns, you've got other, indicators on the chart. But if we go slowly with the candle itself, where you can see the open and close of the candle depending on the different time frame, and then we can, like we've been showing you some bullish candles that go with that. And then as we get deeper and deeper into the podcast, what we'll start introducing you to is actual patterns that you look for based on the candlesticks. For example, like KT was saying, a bullish flag, a pendant, a bearish flag. We've got cup and handles. We've got all those different. We've got what was that? The head and shoulders, the reverse head and shoulders. We've got
double bottom.
Of different patterns to look for on the chart based on the candlestick. However, those take time to learn how to look at. But if you can spot downtrends, uptrends, RSI relative to where you want to get into, and RSI relative to a hammer candle, and then you've got your morning star, and now you're bullish engulfing. Now, keep in mind, these have only been bullish indicators, because we, in the business that we're in, we go long most of the time. We'll short every now and then and go down, or if you follow the previous episode, we'll do puts on our options. But I like to keep the calls going, baby. So I'm looking for anything on the chart that signals we're going to keep going up. So that's what we do. So all right,
ooh, come on, man. That's it, man. Big shout out for another drop of them candlesticks. Just telling y'all, look, man, the stuff that we be showing every week is so important, because the way that you scale your money is the best way to do it is through the stock market, right? It's not through work. It's only so many hours in a day. Salary is only going to be capped at so much. But once you learn this skill, the money amount that you can make is infinite. Every day you can just print money. I promise you, no matter where you at or what you doing, if you learn this skill, which we showing, this is how you can print this money. All right, man, let's take us a quick break. And when we come back, we will jump into Platform Pro.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the...
Let's go. All right, y'all. Let's check out this screen for Platform Probing. All right, so in our Platform Probing, what we're going to do is we are going to look today inside of our trading view, right? And so today we're going to talk a little bit about, because I try to follow up what Jose is doing from week to week. And so last week we talked about the VWAP. And so what I'll do is I'll just pull up one of my charts for y'all. So last week we kind of looked at the indicators that I use, right? And so we talked about the VWAP, which is these lines right here, the red and the pink lines. We also talked about our EMAs, right? And so then that's pretty much looking inside of our whoa. I guess we can't really see it right here, but look, that's a little bit of what you're talking about right there, man. Look at that. But but we talked a little bit about that VWAP. So today we're gonna look at a quick resistance and support, right? And so the way I'm gonna break this down is I'll just kind of jump into what that means. So support and resistance are key price levels on a chart that reflect the tug of war between the buyers and the sellers in the market. Remember what I told you? It's always a fight, right? So candles always tell a story. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I knew I still had that on. Let me take this off. And then now, so remember what I said, the candlesticks will always tell a story. So when I go over to this chart, and remember I said it's always a tug of war, right? So look right here. This tells me I had buyers, I had sellers come in, but then I had buyers come in, right? Okay, now this tells me not that many sellers, but more buyers, right? I had some sellers right here, but I'm looking right here. This one tells me, okay, people confused, they don't know what they're gonna do. Then look at the momentum. Look at these candles, big. All right, so now we're starting to get a little smaller. Look right here. Like I had some sellers come in, but the buyers was on their way. But this is the 1 minute chart. So after 1 minute, this candle closes regardless of where it's at. But look what happens right here. What does this candle tell us? Pop quiz. It tells us that the buyers have stepped in the building, right? And so now when we look at this, let me get back to my notes here. So that's what we meant about support and resistance, right? It's key places that this tug of war happens inside of the stock market. So first, support. So support is a price level where buying interest is sufficiently strong that prevents the price from falling further. The support acts as a floor for the price as shown by these horizontal lines on the chart. When the price approaches support, traders often anticipate a bounce or a reversal. So one big thing what I was looking at is, let's go here for Apple right there. So I already got a support line drawn. Look at how this is a support right here, 170.83, right? And so this line was put here a long time ago. I promise you that, because I never break them down. So, but look how it's respecting it. And so when you're looking for support, it should not be hard for you to notice support, right? Because it should be very evident where they start. So remember, sometimes support can be resistance. So then look at steel. Now we're at the bottom of this line. So look how it's still respecting this same line, right? And that just goes to tell you how important that line is. Look over here, right? We got some things that came up to the line, but they fell down because at this point, remember what we said, support and resistance. This line was resistance. But when we come over here, now what is this line? It's our support. So that tells us now, instead of letting the stock get back down to where it was over here, wait a minute, let me close out. Instead of letting the stock get back down to where it was over here, this same line, which stopped it from going up here until we broke through, is now acting as support to stop it from breaking back down at the bottom. So far, so good. But remember what our story tells us. Sellers and buyers are coming in. What does this tell us right here? Sellers have stepped in the building because this was once green. That's why it was way up here. But now, look at it coming on back down. So that is our support. Let's dig a little bit deeper into our resistance. So conversely, resistance is a price where selling interest is strong enough to where the selling interest is strong enough to prevent the price from rising further. It acts as a ceiling for the price as depicted by the horizontal lines on the chart. When the price approaches resistance, traders may expect a pullback or a reversal. Okay. So now let's go back and look at this. Let me look at you. Let me kind of pop this open. And so I just kind of talked about it, but I want to reiterate it. Wait a minute, let's reconnect. Okay, it's coming down, right? Look at our chart. We got a lot of selling pressure. Look at the fall, boom, boom, boom. Gets to this line right here, support. Can't push it down. Try it again, couldn't push it down. Try it again, couldn't push it down, couldn't push it down. So this means that 170.83 is a great support. Now let's come over here and look at how 170.83 or whatever this is, 170, whatever it is now resistance. So let's look. I'm trying to get my screen a little bigger here for y'all. Bam. Okay, so we get here. We try to break through. Couldn't. It's resistance. Try to break through here again. Resistance. Look, buyer showed up, but what happened? Got the resistance, shut down. So that is how easy it is to find support and resistance. When you want to go to a chart, you just go, you kind of look and you say, okay, where is the biggest amount of stuff going here? And as I look and I want to find my resistance real quick, I'm going to come down to right here. And then I'm going to draw my line. So now, remember, it doesn't have to be exactly at that line, but look how important that line was just that fast. I got these bouncing off that line, and then I come back over here. They almost touched. Look at over here. They almost touched the line. This one almost touches, and finally, the pressure was too heavy. It breaks through. And so then we broke down in our resistance line. But that just goes to show you that's how easy and quickly it is to find support. If I come back over here, you see, let's see if we find anywhere else where it's leaning on that line. Boom, bam. See this line just going straight through. And remember, I just put this line, but we're going back all day today. That just goes to show you, look at, we still have more support at this same line that I just drew, right? Here, we got a big fight. People trying to push through, but it's still at that line. I mean, we can go back. Look, right here, it bounced off of that same line. Right here, we got a whole lot of fighting going on. I just did this line in front of you all, which shows you how easy it is to go in and spot your support and your resistance, right? So when you're thinking about trading and you're using those candlesticks, as Jose talked about, you want to be able to find out where is the support and the resistance for those candlesticks, and literally, that is just how easy it is to find that support and that resistance. Come on, man. We in the bag today, baby. Anything you got to add to that?
I just got to reiterate, man, when you're looking at the resistance, support, whatever candlestick you want to look at, they all are crucial when they work together, because the chart is made up of all of it. The chart itself is candlesticks, but each candlestick and each group of candlesticks creates your resistance, creates your support, and based on those patterns will determine whether we break that support or break through that resistance or not when it comes to going down or going up. So, I mean, great job showing all that, just y'all, everybody, take a breath, because it may seem like a lot, but once you're able to identify your support and resistance and where that gap filled and where that gap can fill next based on that support and resistance, based on those trend lines, man, you're going to be a world-class trader. Now,
World-class trader, man.
Now, you also need discipline when we get there. So, because if this was that easy, everybody would be rich.
Everybody would do it. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Now, finding that support is that easy. But the question is, what are you gonna do with that thing? What are you gonna do once you find it, right? Because let's see here. Let me go here. So now we got right here. I'm going to kind of claim this as this is my support. So then look, I'm coming off of here. And oh man, my buy sign in the way. Oh, there we go. All right. So look, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Bullish engulfing. We just got through talking about that. So what happened once you seen that reverse? Boom. It gets up here. Now I'm coming up and I can almost say real quick, where's my resistance? Right here, right? Because look at it. It touched here. It touched here. I bet you I can come back over here and see a fight right here at this same line, right? So that's all this support and resistance is. But once you find that, now you can say, okay, I see it came down over here. This is going to be my line. You give it a chance to close if it does not break through this line. So remember, bullish engulfing. But what happened? Remember, like that red candle, it cleared this candle here totally. That tells me buyers have got in. I'm going to hit this lick and I'm going to go in. But also, just for the people that watched last week, what are my EMAs doing? They just crossed back over. They just crossed back over. So what happened? I got a sign at my support and resistance that it did not break the support. I got a buy signal that told me it's time to buy. I got my EMA crossing that tells me, say, this told me I'm finna get paid. But it got to be so fast when you recognize. You got to say, that's it. Boom, go. So you got to be ready. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was ready. But the thing is, you got to be able to recognize these real fast, be able to make the adjustment, get in, and get your money. All right, let me close this thing out. So, man, I think that was it, Jose. We got about 56. We have 56 minutes, man. Anything you got, Sharp, before we get out of here?
Man, I just think that going back to whatever it is that we do with charts, whatever it is you're looking at charts, no matter what kind of trader you are, day trader, swing trader, long-term trader, whatever it is, whatever candlestick you want to look at, whatever you want to identify, you have to, like we said, you have to have an entry plan and an exit plan. One that works for you. When are you going to sell? When are you going to sell? When are you going to sell? You have to know and identify that. What are your goals? What is your outcome that you want? If you get in real quick, make $100 in a minute, is that the kind of trader you want to be? Do you got time to do that? Or are you going to get in and, like KT said before, let it sit there? It's all up to what but you got to have an exit strategy. If not, you will go broke. Trust me.
Go broke. Hey, just hold that thing, man. It's going to keep going. No, it ain't. Because it's at resistance, right? When you see that resistance, you say, okay, maybe this is my time to sell. You maybe let 1-2 candles close, but then you got to get out of that thing. All right. Well, I think that would do it for us. I hope you can go back. If you missed anything from this episode, please go back, take a look at it. Good information that was given out today. If you have not downloaded the TradingView, go in and practice just finding support and resistance. That's going to be the first piece. You got a little game on the candlesticks now. You got a little game on your support and resistance, on your EMAs, on your VWAP. Take all this, put it together, write out you some information into a plan, and come share with us. We always willing to talk. We want to be interactive. So make sure we do take questions throughout the podcast. So show up, baby, and show out. Next week, next week, I guess we're going to dive a little bit deeper into our support and resistance. I want to kind of talk a little bit more about our candles, I guess, and we'll see what Jose got for us next week. But y'all make sure y'all stay locked. This is KT and
JoJo.
All right, y'all. AdminisTraders Podcast. We'll see y'all next week. And happy Easter. Thank God for sweet baby Jesus.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
KTTV.
KTTV.